Hey everybody, we're here today with James at Bight Restaurant, and it's a beautiful sunny day because summer's finally here. So James, thank you for inviting us onto your patio.
No problem. Welcome.
Excellent. And I see that, you've started us off just right. I asked James right away, where's your cocktails? And he informed me I get to have both of these. So I feel pretty lucky, but we'll talk about those in just a minute. So summer's here, Bight Restaurant, been open since what, 2012?
Yeah, December 2012 we opened.
Perfect. You couldn't ask for a better spot.
I know, it's perfect. It's great to be down here, especially with all the development happening at the marina, and it's really fun to be here for sure.
That's awesome. Well, this is like my favorite haunt.
Your favorite.
I love to come here, and you have so much to offer. And of course, it's not just food that you have here. You have amazing drinks as well. Let's just talk for a moment about your food, because you have just amazing offerings. Tell me what's on the menu right now for summer that's really hot.
We have an amazing chef, Alan Rebello. He works really hard to develop lots of relationships with farmers and get as much local product as we can. We've been rolling out some new menu items for the summer. We've got really cool, great mussels, like some spicy tikka masala mussels. We've got like a really awesome chicken ravioli appetizer, nice and light for the summer. Lots of cool stuff. Our halibut has changed recently. We've got a really nice light halibut with some grilled black kale. It's really delicious. Lots of good stuff for the summer for sure.
I had something really tasty here last night.
What's that?
It was in a crock pot.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about that, because that was delicious.
So we serve in a crock pot. It's like kind of like a big seafood crock pot, and it's got crab, mussels, clams, all kinds of good stuff. There's potatoes, and it's got like a curry butter in it. It's really, really delicious, kind of big, hearty seafood crock pot.
It was delicious.
Delicious, yeah.
Yay! So let's talk a little bit about beer. Since the show is called Hoppy Hour, I guess we should talk a little bit about beer. Now, you offer a lot of wonderful things here at Bight. Beer, wine, cocktails. And we'll talk about all of them. But beer, what do you have on tap here at Bight?
Yeah, so we like to focus on, we carry mostly sort of craft brewery products rather than sort of the bigger sort of producers. So on tap right now we have two from Sleeping Giant. So we usually carry their Elevator and the Skull Rock. We have two from Lake of the Woods. We keep the ones from Lake of the Woods rolling. We usually have the Sultan and the Firehouse, but they do lots of Anomaly series, so we carry different stuff all the time. So right now we have the Firehouse, and I think the Wild Blueberry Ale is coming next week.
Oh, best news ever!
We're excited about that.
Yes.
That one's dangerous. 7.5%.
Forgotten Lake, it's called.
Yes,
and I think it's because you always forget.
Yes.
After you drink a few glasses of that.
Yeah. So we carry two from them always. They always change. And then we also have the Spark House Red Ale from Lake of Bays, which is a great brewery from Baysville, Ontario. Really nice. And then from Muskoka, we have their Mad Tom IPA, really good hoppy IPA. And then two more familiar names, we have Steam Whistle and Stella.
That's an excellent lineup.
Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah.
So Lake of Bays, I don't know a lot about their brewery.
Yeah, they're a craft brewery. We first used one of their products for a beer tasting we did shortly after we opened. We used one of it was like a maple. We paired it with a dessert course, I believe, and they always do really cool stuff. You can see it in the liquor store sometimes, not at the beer store usually. The rep came to talk to us, and they have some great products, and it's been really popular. It's the one that the staff drinks all the time. It's a really good choice.
I'll have to have one after.
Definitely.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. So you must have a lot of people, especially now that the weather's warming up, coming here, sitting on the patio, having a couple of beers.
Absolutely. I mean, the weather hasn't been too warm yet, but I mean, when it's nice, the patio definitely fills up. We got really lucky on, I guess, was it this weekend? It was, this past weekend it was great, and it was full all day and all night, which is awesome. So.
Well, it's nice to sit right there with a nice cold beer or cocktail and just watch the world go by. Watch the boats come in, watch Sail Superior go in and out with his charters.
For sure.
And I mean, you really couldn't ask for a better spot.
Yeah.
So what I'm really excited about at Bight is cocktails, and that's your specialty, James. So you, and as you can tell, I'm quite enjoying this one. This is a Celery Collins.
Yeah.
And tell me how you made this up.
Yeah, so I run the bar program here, and doing really cool, sort of interesting cocktails is something that I've always wanted to bring to the restaurant. So ever since we opened, we've always tried to sort of push it a little bit and do really sort of handcrafted, sort of classic, but with a twist cocktails. So for example, what you're drinking, the Celery Collins, is a twist on a Tom Collins, right? Which is sort of gin and lime and lemon and sugar. This one has celery in it. So we juice some celery, like freshly juiced every day, and there's a little bit of that celery juice in there. We use Hendrick's gin, elderflower liqueur, so it's Saint Germain, which is a really, really cool product. and some lime juice and some soda water, and it's really refreshing and light. I hope it'll be popular for the summer.
It's going to be popular for
Yeah.
the summer because it truly is so refreshing. It's going to be no problem.
Yeah, it's one of those, I mean, you're not used to seeing vegetables in your cocktails, right? But
No.
it is not overpowering with the celery, and it's so hopefully people will be brave and try it.
Another really nice one that you have here that looks similar to this is the one that has cucumber and, is it mint or basil?
Basil.
Can you tell us a little bit about that one?
Yeah, that one we've had since we did that shortly after we opened, and it's really popular. It's called a cucumber basil smash. And so we muddle fresh basil and cucumber like right in a shaker glass. Then we add some simple syrup that I make with lemongrass that also has cucumber in it, some peppercorns, and some lime juice and some gin. Shake it all up and strain it. And that one is also a really good, refreshing. We make a lot of those in the summer.
Absolutely. Definitely this is a summer drink.
Definitely.
And then beside it, its little partner here,
Yes.
my personal favorite, James, thank you for remembering that, is
No
a
problem.
rye and rhubarb. And I don't even drink rye.
Yeah.
Don't even like rye.
Well, that's the thing. This has definitely been the most popular cocktail we've made. So we did
Yes.
this. I made this before we opened. It's been on our menu since we opened, and it will always be on our menu. People love this, and I'm not a rye drinker really either. And so sometimes people are a little dubious about it, but the rye just brings sort of a completeness to it. It doesn't really taste like whiskey. And this is made with like a rhubarb puree. So we cook rhubarb with some sugar and some orange and lemon, cook it down, and then puree it and strain it, all kinds of stuff. And then it's made with Aperol, which is sort of a bitter Italian aperitif, similar to Campari, but not quite as bitter. So that brings some bitterness. There's some sugar from the rhubarb. And then we use bitters as well. So we get rhubarb bitters. We bring those in. And there's some citrus juice, and it's just kind of like a well-balanced kind of, it's got bitterness, it's got sweetness, it's got, it's a really good, people love this one, so.
But it's delicious, and it feels healthy when you drink it. Like you're not going to get scurvy or a cold if you
Definitely,
have a few
and you're
rye
getting your
rhubarbs.
vegetables with this one,
I know,
right?
this
So
is a balanced breakfast
this is
for me.
a balanced breakfast, absolutely. Yeah.
That's so much fun. And another great thing about being here is you do make all your own juices and just watching the bartenders create each drink is like a bit of entertainment in itself.
For sure. I mean, like I said, we had wanted to go back to sort of old school. I think there was a trend, in the last 10 years to do a lot of flavored vodkas and really sweet liqueurs. We don't carry a lot of that kind of stuff. We kind of keep it really sort of simple and old school. And yeah, we make all of our syrups in house, and the bartenders hate me because the cocktails are fairly involved to make, and they do take some time and effort. But I think it's worth the little bit extra time and love that gets put into them, because I think they turn out pretty well and people do enjoy them. So
Oh, they're made with love.
they're made with love.
Oh, that makes
Definitely.
my heart happy. And one more thing I like about your cocktails is the ice cubes.
Yeah,
You have
so
really good ice cubes.
well, when we first opened, we had a different ice machine, and I hated it because you don't really think about the ice, but it has small little chipped ice that you get in restaurants a lot, and it just didn't work. And one of the reasons why we switched it, the ice cubes you have are really big, solid cubes of ice, and for bartenders, that makes a big difference because they melt less, right? So if you have small ice, it melts in the glass, and a lot of the cocktails we shake. And if you have small ice, it really waters down the cocktail. So this is nerdy bartender stuff, but the ice is actually really important, and so we definitely are happy we have a proper ice machine now.
it makes a big difference.
Makes a
in
big
the
difference
drink
for
when
sure.
you're drinking it.
Absolutely, yeah.
So number 3, so we've talked beer, we've talked cocktails, wine
Yeah.
at Bight. You have an amazing lady on staff named Jeannie.
Yeah,
and
so-
she is a sommelier, correct?
Right, I believe she's the only one in town still. So Jeannie is or there's I think there are 2 now, but Jeannie is a certified sommelier. She did her stage in France. She's amazing. She knows everything there is to know. And we have a great wine program. It's not a huge wine list. It's more of a smaller kind of eclectic list that's sort of hand tailored for our menu as well. She organizes it by style rather than just by country or price, so it's easier to pair something. If you're having sort of a lighter meal, you can find a wine that'll be lighter to go with it easily without having to know a bunch about wine. So it's a really accessible list, but it's also really eclectic. Things from all over the world. She mixes, New World and Old World and all different kinds of styles. Things that, she deals with wine resellers. So there's things you can't get at the LCBO. She brings in special for us, and it's just an amazing list, and we're really lucky that she does that for us.
For sure, and that's a
Yeah.
pretty neat designation to have.
Yeah.
You have to have a very mature palate to be able to be a sommelier and be able to
Definitely.
taste all those undertones.
It's incredible the testing that they go through and the stuff that they have to know. It's a lot to learn.
Oh, that's great.
Absolutely.
Well, it's nice to be able to come here and say, can I have a nice glass of red wine? And, someone will always say, well, what style do you like? And they always seem to get it right. So,
Yeah, we, like we said, we take our sort of beverage program seriously, including the wine. So our servers, they're trained to know all of our wines by the glass and some sort of basic pairing information. And Jeannie and myself are always around too to help. If you ever wanted to ask us for some recommendations, we're more than happy to oblige. So.
One other thing that I really enjoy about Bight is that you do a lot of event partnerships. What comes to mind right away is the Thunder Bay Symphony Orchestra and Mozart and Martinis, but you do a myriad of activities with different organizations promoting food and drink together.
Yeah.
Can you tell us maybe about one or two of those events?
Sure, yeah, and that goes up to the owner and general manager, Bianca. She's great at doing stuff like that. So the Mozart Martinis, we've done that 2 years in a row now. It's gone really well both times. It's a lot of pressure for me because I've got to come up with 4 or 5 martinis that pair with Alan's food. But it's a great fundraiser for the symphony. It's a mixture of sort of live music. The symphony comes in and sets up in the restaurant, and we do a sort of a tasting menu, 4 courses of food, each paired with a martini. So we'll usually start with one that'll be more on the bitter side to sort of whet your appetite with an appetizer, and go from there with like a sweeter sort of dessert martini to finish. And it's a really fun event. And we definitely recommend you take a cab home after those events. But yeah, we do all kinds of stuff. We've got one coming up, a fundraiser coming up in the summer. We're working with Chef Michael Smith, which you guys recognize from Chef at Home. All kinds of cool stuff. We definitely like to do events, keep people interested. We do beer pairings, wine tasting, stuff like that. So.
Oh, that's excellent. Awesome. Anything else to add, James, before I get to finish my cocktails and you get to go back to work?
Oh, I don't think we're going to work. I think we should sit down and just have a few beers. What do you think?
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay, let's do that.
That's awesome. Well, thank you very much for watching us on Hoppy Hour, and thank you again, James.
No
You're
problem.
awesome.
Thanks, Carrie.
Delicious drink.
Thank
Come and
you.
order a Celery Collins.
Thanks, Carrie.
Okay, thanks.